Hey guys, today we're going to talk about mechanical keyboards. No, we're not going to talk about blue switches. They're essentially the worst sounding and feeling switch of all time. No, we're talking about literally every other switch available. But enough about that, let's jump into the history. Because it's a requirement. So there isn't an exact moment when and how mechanical keyboards were made. Long story short, companies made membrane keyboards as a cheap alternative, and now people are considering mechanical keyboards because devices are becoming more of a personal device, less than a tool for work. Now, why mechanical keyboards? Ergonomics must be taken into part when working extensively time-wise. Maximizing your typing experience can increase your productivity and reduce the possibilities of having wrist or hand problems. The inviting thunk sound of your keyboard could be the make or break situation to you getting your work done. Despite the general first impression of people to mechanical keyboards that membrane keyboards can do the exact same job at a cheaper price, now this may be true, but there is little to no personalization and optimization to these keyboards. They offer almost the exact same sound for every keyboard, including the feel. But through mechanical keyboards, they can help the overall inviting and customizable experience. Changing from membrane to mechanical can not only help you customize your experience, but also increase productivity and a more inviting way to do your work in and out of your home. This can also help people to be open to the hobby and market of mechanical keyboards. There is a lot of money that can be made in the mechanical keyboard community. The market for mechanical keyboards has now risen and expanded through the pandemic. People are mostly searching how to optimize their workspace and thus then finding out about mechanical keyboards. The said rabbit hole of mechanical keyboards can get more expensive the deeper you go. And the more people realize that there is something for everybody. Despite them being quite expensive, a legitimate switch has around 50 million key presses of a lifetime, which is worth for the service that it can give to you. And that number of key presses can last you on years on end. Now that all the requirements of the video are done, let's move to the main point of this video. How far does the customizability of mechanical keyboards go?
Don't wanna go down like this. My head's in a place that I don't miss.
Before we go to the parts of the keyboard, one of the key points of a mechanical keyboard is the size of your keyboard. Do you only need the letters, numbers, and symbols? Go for a 60% keyboard. Do you need arrow keys? Get a 65%. Do you need function keys? Get a 75%. Do you need a number pad? You can get that completely separately if you need desk space when you're not using it. There's an abundance of sizes to not only optimize prices but also your desk space. There are keyboards like mine that can switch from a 10 keyless keyboard to a non-10 keyless keyboard. Do I need that? No. Now let's move on to the parts of the keyboard. The most exciting part of keyboards in my opinion are switches. There are three main types of switches: clicky, linear, and tactile. Clicky switches are, clicky. There are very few switches that I can recommend. Otherwise, you use this if you are a terrible person. Linear switches are a smooth, press down, little to no resistance. This is the type of switch that is usually mainly for gaming, but it's also used in typing. It's mainly preference of the user. Tactile switches have that small bump similar to keyboards on laptops and membrane keyboards. The act of pressing and getting past that bump is what registers as a key press. There are hundreds of these three types of switches. To know what switch is for you is through research. Look for sound tests, reviews, and don't be frightened by the number of terms. You will learn them as you keep researching. Let's move on to the keycaps. They're what complete the look of the keyboard, sound, texture, and what makes the mood of the keyboard. The designs can range from simple and cute to controversial designs. There are many types of materials and profiles. The key to understanding them again is through research. Next is the PCB. Now, these electronics are the brains of the keyboard and what interacts with the switches to essentially receive inputs. Now, there are two main types that you have to look out for: hot swappables and not hot swappables. Hot swappability, it essentially means that the keyboard can accept switches by simply plugging them in. If a keyboard is not hot swappable, that means that you have to solder in the switches. The rest of the parts, including the plate, the case, the foam, and others, are just to complete the structure of the keyboard and complete the keyboard. They all contribute to sound. If you want to know how to build mechanical keyboards, you can watch streams, videos, and many more. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't tackle in this video, so I highly encourage learning more. And that ends this video. I hope you guys learned a lot and you are encouraged more to buy mechanical keyboards. And for the love of God, please do not buy blue switches.